Hi, I'm Allison.
Hi, I'm Justin.
And you're listening to the Otterly Owlsome podcast. Who knows what we'll talk about? It's Canadian Thanksgiving. And so I told Matt, I was like, since I ruined your Canadian Thanksgiving, you are formally invited to an Oklahoma Thanksgiving.
I'm sure he's like, yeah, I'm going to take you up on that.
Your height will be a topic of conversation. So.
Was he like, sure? Or is he
goes,
like,
are you serious? I'm there.
That's hilarious.
They call my brother Uncle Brian. He was like, will Uncle be there? I was like, yep. So.
Who calls him Uncle Brian?
Matt and Pat Willits. The
That's
Willits
funny.
boys. So.
I don't think of Brian as an uncle.
He's fully gray, so.
Yeah, but he's got young eyes. So it mismatches, like his gray mismatches his face. In my opinion.
Yeah. He has a very childlike personality.
How was your weekend?
It was good. So, you won.
Oh, yes. Where were we? We were somewhere, and they were like, oh, no, I know, we were at the porch, and they were like, their games don't start until 2. We're like, pretty sure they start at 12, like, every Saturday during football season. And the manager had to come out and finally put everything up. And we thought we were going to have Texas and Oklahoma in front of us, but they put it off to the side. So
where were you at?
Local sports bars, yeah.
I thought you meant porch patio, and I was like, I mean, you control the TV.
It's called the Village Porch, is the name of the place.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes, they won. They looked really good.
So go...
Horns down. Oh, horns.
But then what's the Go Sooners, right?
Boomer Sooners. So they won.
They won. Okay. In Texas. Like they won away.
Well, no. The OU Texas game is always played in Dallas at the Texas State Fair. Every year. Neutral site.
Okay, so that's what Brian was talking about last week. Okay.
Yeah.
Woo! Go Sooners. Boomer Sooners. What?
Yes.
Boomer sounds old.
I know.
I've been conditioned.
It does, but it goes back to the oil boom days, and the land run.
Okay. Old Jed and his that was Texas.
What?
Jed was in Texas, wasn't he?
Jed?
Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah. I don't remember where they were.
I think someone from Tulsa came to him in Texas. Probably. Yes. And and with a plot. Yeah.
Yeah, Tulsa was like the oil capital for a while. Then it all moved to Houston because of the ports and how it was easy to get in and out.
The ocean, yeah.
So, but Sooners is actually a term for a cheater. So in the land run, when I was a kid in elementary school, every year in elementary school, we had a fake land run where you had to dress up in like pioneer clothes.
Oh my God.
And make a stagecoach. So we used our little red radio flyer whack. It like made it. And you had to do a land run. But the people who went before the time you were supposed to go were called the Sooners. And they were cheating. So
I just asked GPT what a land run was. Previously unsettled lands were opened up for settlement and development. Common way to distribute land had been acquired by the government. Okay. So it's like free for all? Like you just go in and plant the flag?
Everyone is like at the same place and at a specific time. They whoever gets there first stakes their claim. And people who went before that time were called the Sooners because they were cheating and went too soon.
Before the firing of the cannon. Okay. Mm-hmm. The parcels were typically standard sizes of 160 acres. Can you imagine that now?
Yeah.
160?
We did it literally on our playground at elementary school. And you would be running because you had a fake little family and your whole little family would have to run and like you'd be like planning it out ahead of time. Yeah.
Have your monster spray in your mommy bag.
Yes, exactly.
I had never heard of this until now. Really? This is all news to me, yeah. Like, I was familiar with, like, how the West was settled, but I didn't realize this is how it was divvied up. So, like, there's a familiar storyline of, like, someone's got land and the bank comes and says you haven't paid your whatever, and they take it from them. Like, I'm familiar with that storyline, but this is
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Well, and so a lot of the tribes had their land taken away illegally back then too. And so some of this was actually Indian land. And a lot of it's been given back to the tribes. Because I used to work for Muskogee Creek Nation. And by the way, I have an echo for you.
Oh, yep. Let me turn it off.
But
I can't.
It's fine. The what?
Just
no, I meant like I can hear myself and yours. Now you're muted. Okay, so I can't hear you, but I can't hear me either. So, but where the casinos are, were actually their reservations, and they have their own police department and everything. Like you don't call the like normal police. You call like for Muskogee Creek Nation, it was Light Horse, so you would call Light Horse, and they were the ones who did if we had unruly guests at the casino.
I'm familiar from Reservation Dogs, the TV series. They had their own guy in a police car or whatever. And I just want to read, just because you brought it up, and I want to be thorough. ChatGPT says, it's important to note that land runs were part of a broader pattern of Western expansion that often involved the displacement of Native American communities from their ancestral lands, which is a controversial and often tragic aspect of American history. So thank you for calling that out.
Today is Indigenous People Day.
I didn't know that.
/ Columbus Day. But when you're in Oklahoma, it's Indigenous People Day.
I did notice, because there's a school on our street, that I thought it was interesting. There is school today, and usually they took Columbus Day off. Yeah. And now I know it's Indigenous Peoples Day too.
Yes, it's both. Yeah, they switched to Indigenous People Day when I was in like middle school or high school, I think, because it was still Columbus Day when I was little.
Yeah, it was Columbus Day for me. I don't remember it ever switching. I was in Florida though. They're the last to do everything, with them in Mississippi.
We're the first to do weird stuff.
Oklahoma is?
No, Florida.
Oh, yeah. First for weird and last for... I don't know. Is weed legal there yet?
In Oklahoma?
Well, I was talking about Florida, but either, yeah.
In Oklahoma, it's medicinal.
Okay.
Florida, I have no idea. I know they tried to pass recreational before I moved, and it failed, which didn't surprise me.
Okay.
But it does surprise me because liquor stores up until 3 years ago couldn't sell cold alcohol, and they couldn't cold alcohol, or what did they call it? It was like paraphernalia. So you couldn't buy like a wine opener at the liquor store.
Oh my gosh.
Because, you're just going to crack that bottle and drink it on the way home, I guess. I don't know.
The people who would do that are going to do it anyways. I mean,
right. They just got the wine opener in the car. But they just got cold cases at the liquor store. They sell strong beer in the grocery store now, meaning more than 3.2.
Okay. All right.
Now, the liquor stores are open on Sundays afternoon.
It sounds like here. Like we still have liquor and beer separate. Liquor... Actually, they're still closed on Sundays here.
They are here too, and they close at 7 here.
7 p.m. On Saturday.
Every day.
And then you have to wait till what time Monday morning to get your liquor?
I don't know. I've never been like, they better open.
I need my liquor.
Yeah. No, I've never.
I should speak more respectfully. When I worked at Walgreens, I used to help out at different stores, and in Florida at the time, I don't think it's like this now, the liquor store was divided by a wall from the drugstore. Yeah. And you had a separate entrance into the liquor store and the drugstore. And I helped out, and I kid you not, the second that those doors opened, there were people in business suits and business attire who like came in, boom, 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 got their stuff, put it in their purse, put it in their pocket, and left. And I was like 17 years old. And I'm watching this, I'm going, really? Like, this is a thing? Like, it was so, like, disheartening to me to realize that.
Yeah. So when I worked at the casino, they couldn't start serving alcohol till like 10 a.m. And then they had to stop at 2. And then they couldn't sell alcohol from 2 to 10.
Interesting.
Yeah. was 10 or 11. I think it was 10 though.
Yeah, we finally got brunch on Sundays because it used to be if you were a restaurant you couldn't serve alcohol until 12, and so finally I think it's 10 now on Sundays here.
I love brunch.
I know you've got your own mimosa
carafe
stuff arrangement. Yes,
yeah.
This is how I picture you now.
Yeah.
Just like,
I have
maybe in a radio flyer behind you. You just wheel it in.
There we go. I've got all my mimosa bar. Just.
There was a place here. They're not open anymore. They were called Wild Wings, but it's not the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
And they did a Bloody Mary bar. So the bartender would put liquor in your glass, and then you'd go over and put in whatever juices and olives and bacon and whatever you wanted in it. It was basically a breakfast for people who drank too much the night before.
Yeah, I don't do Bloody Marys, but there was a place in Tulsa that they were huge, and then they had like a grilled cheese sandwich and a pickle and like all this stuff on top of the Bloody Mary.
Ooh, that reminds me. How was your grilled cheese?
Which one?
You texted me a picture.
Oh yeah, it was really good.
Of your sourdough bread.
Yes. And my grilled cheese. And David grilled this weekend because Mia was in town, and so he did grilled or smoked pork chops, which were delicious, and chicken. And then I had fresh sourdough bread to go with it.
You attempted to send me bubblies, but I came across them like I have no idea what that is.
Slow bubbles.
It was just the what is that? The resolution wasn't great as it came over from iPhone to Android, I guess, or over the internet. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not my fiber though. Mm-mm.
Yeah, your connection last week was great. There was never an issue. I think you had blurriness, but that was your camera, not
camera. Yeah.
And you upgraded, obviously, because you got the new...
I know! So my son is now obsessed with it, because I showed him while we were FaceTiming, and so his favorite one is this one.
He likes the rainstorm?
He loves the rain. He thinks... And he loves the lasers.
I like the lasers are my favorite.
Yeah. He's always like, look.
Oh, that's so much easier. I keep doing it like this. That's so much easier.
It's supposed to be like rock out.
Yeah.
I did get his birthday is November 5th. And every year, whatever his theme is, I get him a new shirt. So I got him
Ninja Turtles! It took me a second.
Yeah.
It's going to be 5. He's half a decade.
I know, he's a whole hand.
A whole hand. I love it.
But he had to get the blue one because he thinks the blue one is the leader.
Is that, that's Leonardo? Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've had to relearn all of my turtles.
Raphael, Leonardo, they're the...
Donatello. All the painters.
Michelangelo, that's right, okay. And then there's the creepy rat guy.
Splinter.
Okay.
And Shredder, the bad guy.
Oh, that's right, Shredder.
April, the girl.
I don't remember her.
Yeah. So we had like the original Nintendo, and my brother had a Ninja Turtle game that was very 2D. Like you walk along the top and you'd have to go down in a sewer and you'd find pizzas and stuff.
Because that's where we keep pizza, right?
Yes. But he is going to be 5. And it's crazy. Woo. But he has his pictures, his 5-year-old pictures this weekend. So
for school?
No, for his... I do one every year on his birthday with his little shirt.
You like pay like to go get legit pictures. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And he's a ham, so he loves it. And he loves the girl that does his photos is awesome. And when I booked this year, she was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see his shirt.
That is a cute shirt, yes. So
we do. Last year it was Iron Man. And then
who knew that Ninja Turtles would make a comeback with kids?
There's a brand new movie.
I knew the movie was coming.
Oh. So, he wants a turtle party, so...
Cowabunga, dude.
I know, right? I have super cute invitations that I have to buy today.
This is bringing back memories.
Yeah, his birthday is November 5th. And then my stepdaughter will be 18 on November 9th. So, David's getting old. I'm not.
You didn't produce the 18-year-old, yeah.
I did not. Now, I'm old enough to be her mother, so I'm, that was a condition of us dating. With me.
Old enough biologically or old enough by normal procreation standards?
Like both.
You would
I
okay.
would have been 20 when she was.
Okay, yeah.
So,
You wouldn't have been like 12 if you had her. Okay, yeah.
Like by not accidental or sad reasons. I was old enough to be her mother. So.
But you're not old like David. David's old.
No. So he's been feeling it, maybe.
Oh.
And I was like, pretty soon you get to say you have an adult child.
He's probably glad. I mean, 18 years is a long time to raise somebody.
Yeah. She was talking to us about colleges over the week because she was here this weekend, and she was talking about colleges, and he's just sitting there like...
Does she know what she wants to do yet? And if you don't want to talk about her, we don't have to. That's good.
Yeah, she said she wants to be a teacher. And I said, are you sure? Because
not the most well-paid, yeah.
Well, it's not even about the pay. It's just teachers do not get enough credit at all. Like, almost my whole family are teachers. And growing up, that's what I wanted to be because my family was teachers. And they were like, make sure you really want to do this.
Yeah.
So, shout out to teachers because, man.
Speaking of, I'm listening to an excellent book called Impromptu, Amplifying Our Humanity Through AI by Reid Hoffman and GPT-4. And last night when I was listening, one of the things it said, I didn't go fact check this, right? So I'm not, but it said, one good teacher in the lifetime of a student translates to $50,000 a year in extra income compared to the average person. One good teacher.
Yeah. No, I believe that. Like, yeah.
That's amazing to me. I had lots of good teachers, so I should be a millionaire, but I'm not.
I know, right? I'm like, I have several teachers I remember, some for good, some for bad.
Yeah, I mean, you always have the bad ones. Most of mine were like, they're inspiring. Like, they got me excited about what we were doing.
I had a very cool teacher in high school that taught leadership, and everyone took his class because it was him. He dresses up like Elvis, and he's now, so my high school mascot was a Sandite.
Oh, should I ask ChatGPT?
Not a Sandmite, a Sandite. And so he now dresses up as Captain Sandite.
ChatGPT thinks there's a misunderstanding or a typo.
No.
Sandite does not appear to be a recognized term or concept.
Just ask, where are the Sand Springs Sandites?
Where are the Sand Springs
Sandites? That was our mascot.
It's thinking. I believe you may be referring to Sand Springs sand dunes.
Nope. We stumped ChatGPT. Look at it.
Yeah, this is located in northeastern Oklahoma.
That's still not it.
How do you spell Sandite? Because maybe I'm spelling it wrong.
Sandite.
Oh, one word?
One word.
Oh. What is a Sandite?
So when I was in college, a couple of my friends went, and we were like Israelites live in Israel. Sandites live in Sand Springs.
It still thinks it's a regional... Yeah, it does not like it.
I'm so proud.
It is not a commonly recognized term in the English language.
I love it.
Sweet, we stumped ChatGPT.
I know.
I'm not paying for it though, so this is the free version.
Yeah, though.
Yeah, I mean, it has the whole internet at its disposal, supposedly.
I know. But it was funny because, I was a football trainer because I thought I wanted to do physical therapy as a career. Clearly, I did not do that.
Hey, we've got a whole life left.
I know. But we would go to, play people on homecoming because our team was terrible. We won 3 games my entire time in high school.
Nice.
We were
depressing.
And so we always played people on their homecomings. And I loved it because I got to see, the floats and the cute dresses for the girls for homecoming and all this stuff. And they would always get our mascot wrong. And it was just hilarious because they're to us, none of it made sense. We were like, what is this? And they were like, well, a sand mite. I was like, we're not a flea. So, yeah.
Sweet.
And I was homecoming queen my senior year.
Ooh, congrats.
Oh, no, thanks. And when I went to college, one of my brother's friends was like, it's the queen of the sand fleas. And I'm like...
Is it an insult or is ignorance?
No, it's just, we heard it so much that we just would be like, we're not fleas. And our mascot was a Minuteman. So... None of it.
Now that is a Civil War reference, right? A Minuteman?
Yeah, none of it made sense.
Okay.
So, Sandites, Minuteman.
Maybe they were doing peyote when they came up with their mascots.
Probably. What was
which is an Indigenous American reference. Mine was Eagles. Naples High School Eagles, yeah.
That's lame.
It's a pretty common mascot, I think. Blue and gold Eagles, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at several high schools, so Laley was Trojans. So that was ripe with, making fun of us, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then Barron Collier, I didn't go to high school there, but I went to summer class there one time, and they were the Cougars, which also, I don't think Cougar was a thing back then.
Yeah.
Now it would be funny to me, but...
Well, maybe it's just like as you get older, it becomes funny, because, I'm sure it's been around.
Maybe, I guess.
As a high schooler.
When Justin became aware of it, yeah.
There you go. Well, that was like me. What was it that I was wanting to call us? Bears and otters?
Yes. Otters and bears. We'll let the audience Google that on their own.
Or chat GPT.
Make sure your NSFW filter is turned off. Hey, I have been dying to ask you a question.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I'm putting you on the spot. Because I could have messaged you outside of our podcast, but I wanted to put you on the spot. Because I'm doing something. I'm barreling down a road in my PDI. I haven't talked about it publicly. But I'm curious to what you think about if an organization is maintaining applications. Those applications could be in ServiceNow, right? It could be, hey, we wrote a custom app and we're going to, track that, right? But it could be outside of ServiceNow too. You have customers, we have customers who use code repositories to store their applications. And I was thinking, and this is a bit of a selfish question too, isn't a code repository itself a configuration item? Because it can have settings and owners and rules and associated with an app. And
PI is not a physical thing. It could be logical. It could be any representation you want it to be. So yeah.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I was like, I've got I'm up to 30 repos in my repository, and I'm like, I'd love a way to track these and know what version they're all at, and is this idea that I had related to this one? And so I was thinking, could I represent these in the CMDB, relate them to apps and stuff like that? And so you're nodding yes, which makes me feel good, because
because it's not a physical entity. It's literally can be logical. It can be any of that. So that's a logical representation. Sorry, you have to edit that code. So
yeah, that makes sense. And I that's where my head was at. And what got me thinking about it was another ServiceNow podcast where the host, CJ and the Duke, I don't know if you've heard of him. CJ said in his past, he had done distribution lists in the CMDB and then sent out data certifications for them. I was like, oh, I need to show this on a video. And I was like, that's genius, because that's a configuration item that passes hands and ownership, and you have to maintain the members and everything. And you think about what a nightmare it is to manage it, but it's like, oh, you could represent that in the CMDB, and then you can use all the superpowers of the CMDB.
So a couple years ago, I was at a different partner, but this topic actually came back up with one of our current customers. We actually pulled in AD groups, distribution groups, mailboxes, all of that, and stored it in the CMDB, and we fully automated onboarding. So this was a company that was advanced because they had standard titles, standard packages. And so we built this really cool, user-friendly interface where it had the title, and then you could distinguish which things they got, down to the distribution list they needed to be a part of, down to the AD groups they needed to be a part of.
Oh, it's like onboarding.
Yes, it was complete automated onboarding. It came in from Workday. It triggered the right package and all went through. But we pulled all that in and stored it in the CMDB because there are actually tables for them out of box.
There are tables for groups.
No, they used to have distribution lists in there. Are they not?
They did? Well, I haven't looked for distribution lists. Now I'm going to. I went and looked for repos, and those weren't there. So
we fully automated it. It was me and Chris Klosterman, so shout out to Chris, because we worked together at two previous places. And then now one of our customers, he happens to be on the project, and they brought me in because I'm the sponsor. And I was like, yes, we can do that. I've already done this. And they got real excited. So.
Well, what appealed to me about and this would be the same for groups, but the distribution lists, because one, I'd managed them in the past, so I knew what a pain in the butt they were, but two was automating the certification of them. Yeah. Like sending that out and going, hey, we've got 17 that haven't been certified. Oh, look, they don't work here any longer. Bye, delete. Or find someone new, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I was totally expecting to trip you up on the repo question. Cool. Yeah, okay, so let me try further. So when,
I am not ChatGPT.
Oh, I know. I could have asked ChatGPT this, but I've been saving this up for you because I thought it would be a good, discussion for people to learn too. But when there doesn't exist a class in the CMDB, you try to find one that has most of the properties you want to track, and then you extend that, right? You make it a subclass of that class. Is that?
I do try and find one that's like, I'm not going to make a TV class from servers because that would be weird. I try and find one that's like
relatable,
because you can extend CMDB CI, which is the base of all of them, right? Or just CMDB, so you can extend those. So unless it's related, I extend it from the base and not the class. But if it's a subclass, like you said, then yes.
Okay, so you would look at your first choice unless there was an appropriate, and I think that's the case with the repos. There's not really an appropriate existing class. You would go from CMDB CI. Okay.
Yeah. Because so my background with oil and gas, and we actually tracked our rigs in the CMDB because they weren't discoverable, but we still needed to have the tracking capabilities of who's the rig manager, who's the supervisor, what equipment do they have at this location. Like, it was very intricate.
Yeah, and so I guess the moral of the story for me and for whoever's listening, watching, whatever, that if you need to track it and relate it to other things in the CMDB, then that technically qualifies as a configuration item. You were making a physical-logical distinction earlier. What do you mean?
Yeah, because the CIs aren't always physical. Like an application can be or business services are logical. They're not a physical. This isn't messaging.
Yeah, it's a mouse. It's a mice. It's a magic mouse, right?
It is a magic mouse.
Yes, I recognize it. Yes. Do you have to run?
No, actually.
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't want to. I was going to abruptly end us if you needed to run. But no, now I've got that off my chest, and now I probably will barrel down the road I was going and pulling those into my PDI CMDB, which means now I've got to back up the CMDB
and so how now you only get so many tables with your licensing?
Yeah.
Extending CMDB does not count against them.
Ooh. Nice.
But don't just store things there because you think it's a free table.
Right.
You can extend those and they don't count against you.
And there was something new that came out recently because one of our people told me about it. It was something to do with tables. What is that?
One of our people.
One of our people. They're mysterious. They only look in the shadows with a little spotlight overhead. What was it? Was it query? Was it querying? It was something. It was something cool.
Was it on the Friday call?
No. It was a one-on-one call, and it was something that we are now extending this to the CMDB tables. It was a feature outside of the CMDB that they extended to the CMDB. Yeah. Okay. Not important. Yeah.
I know enough about CMDB to be dangerous. That stuff.
I know enough to know where stuff should go. And this one, I was really surprised at, and I Googled this, I was really surprised that no one out there had anything about repositories in the CMDB. So I'm going to go for it because...
That is kind of surprising, especially with DevOps. You would think they'd want something...
Even ServiceNow's DevOps application doesn't put them in the repo. You associate a business app with a repository, but it doesn't go in the CMDB. And the reason I'm freaking out about it is because when you set up a repo, there are settings that can change the deployment of an app. Like if you auto approve a merge, that's a new feature. Bam, it's in production, right?
Yeah.
So
I haven't done enough with DevOps, but you would think that's where they would tie it all in.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to do DevOps before it worked really well.
Yeah.
This is like 2 years ago. I got into it and was doing demos and stuff. And now I went back. David needed it for somebody, and I went back to configure it. I'm like, I had 100 steps, and now it's only 10. What am I going to do? I told David this would take 4 hours. I've got to make something up.
Like, I will make it the best demo ever.
I've got to fill up this 4 hours. No, you should not do that. Don't do that.
No. You under-promised and over-delivered, or whatever that saying is.
Yeah. I think that's right.
Something like that.
I overestimated.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, that was my big Allison question. I was going to ask last week, but we had a guest last week, so
yes.
I held on to it over the weekend. I have plenty to do. Trust me, there was no shortage of other work to do. But
yeah.
We should probably wrap up then. I guess keep this tidy. We had a episode. 31. This is episode 32. 32, like Shaquille O'Neal's number 32. That's a sports ball reference, y'all.
Betty. Ooh, 32.
And Allison, that was my video today, by the way. My daily YouTube video was the reactions.
Oh, nice. I've been trying to find hidden ones, but I haven't found any.
Yeah, there's no hidden ones that I know of.
I Google it. I still love that you're trying to do this.
And I was like flipping my hands around. I'm like, this is uncomfortable. There was something else on the Mac one that too. Or you got the background that turns into your screensaver? Have you seen that?
I don't think so.
So like on that upgrade, if you go into your screens, go into your backgrounds, you can pick, like Sonoma is one that defaulted to, but you can pick these
on my phone or on my MacBook?
On your Mac.
Oh, okay.
And what happens is it's your background, and then when your screensaver kicks on, like the desktop disappears, but your background is still there, but it starts moving.
Oh yeah, no, mine's doing that because I upgraded that, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm like a drone."
Yes, I have like 3 monitors in my office, so I come in and I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on in my monitors?"
Yeah, David's real excited about that. You can put widgets now on your desktop.
Yeah, I haven't played with that yet.
I haven't. Why did that go off?
That's the only part I'm not liking, is the unexpected stuff.
Yeah, I don't even feel like
you kind of did like this, but
I did that.
Yeah, you could turn them off. There's a little menu on top. You can turn them
fine.
off. Okay, cool. Any final thoughts that you'd like to share with the universe?
I went to Arizona Day last week.
Yes, we didn't talk about that last week, did we?
No, but it was good. I got people excited about roadmaps.
Roadmaps in ServiceNow.
Yes,
right?
And just general where are we going roadmaps if you don't want to buy licensing to the roadmap. So.
Wait, say that again?
Because the licensing, isn't it with an APM for roadmaps?
Yeah, SPM, yeah.
Yeah, and
SPM
I was
Pro,
like,
I think.
You don't want to buy the licensing, and all the sales guys were like throwing daggers. I'm like, I'm just saying, if it's not part of your roadmap until phase 3, then we can put them in when we get there.
But there's a place you can put them in. Can you?
Not without SPM that I've seen. Because I looked, because I was going to demo it, and then I was like, well, I don't want to demo something that requires licensing when this is a non-technical topic. So
yeah, that's true.
I talked about it and how it could be stored there, like future state, but that it wasn't necessary to purchase licensing, and that's when all the sales guys were like, even more. Was like,
yeah. Well, the fact is, we live in the real world with customers who have budgets, and they can't afford everything. And I'll be the first to criticize ServiceNow. Like it seems like from a customer's perspective, anytime you try to do anything, it's, oh, that's not a license. Oh, that's a license.
Yes.
So
the approver licenses are the only ones that still bug me. I can get past the others, but the approval license just drives me insane. It's so nickel and dimey. Like,
you've already got the user count, yeah. Where I first started using ServiceNow, the CIO pushed back on that as well, and he's like, include them. I'm not paying for them, and they did.
Oh. Well, and for a while they were like, as long as they were just using email, it doesn't count. And now they're even doing audits on that. And that's honestly the only license that drives me insane. It truly is. It is the only one that I'm like, guys, really? Like, if we need someone's manager to be an approver, like, how am I going to know that their particular manager or supervisor or whatever has... It makes my life hard.
Yeah. It makes our customers' lives hard. Yeah. Which translates to you, because your customers are like,
yes.
We're paying you guys to...
This. I'm like, I didn't make the rules.
I'm just a messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I echo that.
Yes. And like I said, that's the only one. The table extension kind of bothers me, but I've had less issues. They've kind of changed that one because sometimes we just need a table to store data to make things easy. And
you should check it again, because they've kind of gotten skimpy on them again.
Again?
Yeah, because I got asked one about SPM, and I think it was limited to 5. I was like, really? 5?
For SPM? That's not very
Yeah, because you think about every artifact on a project that like you could possibly extend, because you don't want to customize out of the box tables, and so you would extend them by best practice, right? Yeah.
Those are my only 2 pet peeves.
Well, congratulations on Arizona Day. I hope Arizona enjoyed Allison's presence.
Mine was short and sweet and to the point.
Was it warm?
In Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It felt really good in the evenings, but it was warm during the day. So.
Phoenix. Is that where you were? Phoenix?
Scottsdale, but
Scottsdale.
I think it's all the same thing.
I don't know. Scottsdale's where the golf is, I think.
I don't know. It was like 9 minutes from the airport where I was staying.
Oh, sweet.
So, but it had a Scottsdale address. So. I asked David because he lived there for 12 years. And he was like, yeah, it's all kind of the same thing. I was like, okay.
I didn't know he lived there that long.
Yeah. Yeah, we try and go back because I love Flagstaff.
Have I been to Arizona? I don't think I've been to Arizona. Where's Las Vegas? That's Nevada.
Yeah.
Not Arizona. Okay. Yeah, Justin's not great on geography, everybody. That's why ChatGPT's over there.
He doesn't have a globe.
Yeah, I really don't have a globe. I love geography, but yeah, I just learned about Canada 4 years ago. So
like that it existed?
What? I knew it existed, but I didn't know a lot of people live there like I do now. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
We have large Canadian.
Coming to work here, I've learned about Canada. So, and they learned about me.
I had never been to Canada until I worked here. So
yeah. We have a big footprint there, so that's...
Now I've been to Toronto, and I've been to Montreal.
Montreal is there in Quebec, right?
Yes, and they speak French. Even, like, the signs are in French.
That's right. I remember you, yes. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, no. I would be very lost if I was here.
I just know oui, oui. That's all I know.
I know bonjour.
Or bonjour. I guess I knew that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Before you sign off, there were no 4-legged creatures today. Are they off?
Oh, they're outside because David's working outside because it's so nice out.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh god, it was 35 this morning. It was frost this morning.
Yeah, it was. Let's see, what was it this morning? It was 43 this morning.
Okay, so you guys got it too then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, happy October Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, and Columbus Ruined the World Day. So.
Exactly.
We'll see you on the next one.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Bye.